Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of day it is for you. This is going to be the first episode of the Minimal Stoic. Nothing planned, very impromptu. I'm just going to talk about what the Minimal Stoic is all about, what it means to me for the purpose of the channel to call it the Minimal Stoic. And so before I get started, it just maybe be 5-10 minutes. Just gonna take a quick sip of water. Just to get hydrated, start the video off right. In the future, I might do add some video in, but to keep it simple for the first video, just gonna be an audio clip. I might throw in a couple images here and there. But for the most part, just gonna keep it simple with the audio and just talk to you for a little bit. So, what does it mean to be a minimal stoic? Well, there's two parts to the term. There's minimal, which for me is all about this lately trendy topic of minimalism, which I got into a couple years ago, 2 or 3 years ago back, when I decided to just sort of get rid of everything that wasn't adding value into my life. There's two popular guys that have really brought the term to light. They are the minimalists, and if you guys want to look them up, it's the minimalists. It's Joshua Fields Milburn and Ryan Nicodemus. They just they're living the purpose of minimalism and bringing it to mainstream. But minimalism is very much a journey. And if you start today, don't think that by tomorrow everything in your life is going to be a perfect thing and it's a fix-all for everything. For me, it just helped to reduce the clutter in life and not be so material and consumeristic about things, so that when I go out to a store, I really look to make sure that something is going to bring value into my life before I get it. And sometimes it's easy to try and convince ourselves of that something's going to add value when it really doesn't. But it's very physical, minimalism. There are mental benefits and effects that come from it immediately and over the long term, and I think that's why minimalism has become so popular, is that it's just a way to declutter the mind by decluttering your physical things. And we'll talk more about that in depth in future videos, I'm sure. That is to say, we can get past this first one. Let's just get that first one out first. But minimalism doesn't really it's not so much of a mental thing, or at least it's not popularized by that. The initial reaction to minimalism is that it's a very physical thing. And for the longest time, minimalism was a physical thing. Like I said, it has mental benefits that come along with it, but for me, there was really no set in stone way to minimize the mind. And after some recent events that's happened recently, in the past couple months, it's become very clear to me that I needed something else in my life, it's hopefully it's that combination of this minimalism plus that something else that brings something new to the table, to the community, and say, here's something that maybe for you is closer to the full package thing that you're looking for in how to simplify your life. And for me, what I was looking for was sort of a minimalism for the mind. And a minimalism in your thoughts and actions, and in a way to think about the world that stuff becomes less urgent and stuff becomes less pressing in life, becomes less stressful to sum that up. And that thing was the second part of the Minimal Stoic, which is Stoicism. And Stoicism, which we'll get into in the coming up videos, next few videos maybe, we'll see how things go. Stoicism, for me, is sort of minimalism for the mind. And it's how to figure out what is actually worth thinking about, and how to focus on those things worth thinking about, and using those things to base our actions off of. And it's in thinking about Stoicism and really figuring out what it's all about, which that has been a whole new journey that I've started in the recent months. Minimalism for much longer than that, but much recently, Stoicism. And it's with those two things that I feel that in the long term is a setup to be truly happy in life. That's the real goal. That's the real goal. We're trying to be happy. And maybe there's a message behind that we'll also talk about. But we'll get to the rest of that in the coming up videos. So that's all for this one. That's where I'll leave it. And if I could leave you with one final message for this video, it would be to focus on trying to be happy. And we'll talk about that soon.